Hi, everyone. I'm Reverend Nikki Happy, the Director of Marketing and Engagement at One Spirit, and welcome to the Graduate Spotlight. I am sitting here today with Reverend Ganga Devi Braun. How are you?
I'm so well today. Thank you so much for having me here.
Sure. And so you're a One Spirit graduate. We would love to know, what year did you graduate and what are you up to now?
Yes, so my husband and I actually both went through One Spirit together, and we graduated in 2020. We were that interesting cohort that got to experience the completion of our seminary remotely entirely during at the very beginning of the pandemic. But
Yes, the
that
first
in its
class to
own
do so. Yeah.
yeah, but in its own way, that was a total blessing. And yeah, it's a very unique way to complete our One Spirit journey for sure.
And so, can you share a little bit more about your spiritual background and what that was like for you stepping into One Spirit?
So my background is that I was born and raised on an interfaith, interspiritual ashram, and both of my parents were the head ritualists for most of my childhood there. My own ancestry is on my mother's side, a lot of white settler colonialists here on Turtle Island in the United States. And on my father's side, just a very Germanic European background. But they raised me in this predominantly Hindu interfaith community that had temples to all the major world's religions, and the majority of the community, including the founder and leader of the community, were mostly Jewish women from Brooklyn. So it was a very unique upbringing, surrounded by a lot of different people from a lot of different spiritual communities, a lot of different people from queer communities, and it was a really beautiful, really pluralistic upbringing that has really anchored my passion for and belief that we can live in a world in which all of our spirituality and all of our experience of the world is only enhanced and deepened by what we can learn about others. And that was a huge part of my choice to join One Spirit. My husband and I both have been finding over the years that people come to us for spiritual guidance, and we were both very aware of the pitfalls that can happen with our egos when we step into the role of spiritual teacher, spiritual guide, spiritual companion. And we were both just very committed to the journey of spiritual maturity. When we found One Spirit, we knew that we had found a place where we would be held in a container and a community of accountability and of peers and of teachers that we really did trust to be able to support us in the journey of spiritual maturity and to stepping into whatever it is that we're here to do in the world. We didn't have a clear idea of what our ministry would look like when we entered into it. And in fact, we weren't married at the time. We were just a few years into our relationship, but it was through our journey in One Spirit that we actually became engaged, and we were married just a little bit before we graduated from seminary. And together, I think it's our journey with One Spirit really enriched and deepened our own sense of connection with all the world's religions, and the religions of our origin, of our original, of our ancestors, and also of my upbringing. My connection with Hinduism and Buddhism was both really deeply enriched by my time at One Spirit, and all of this, feeds into everything that we do every day, every interaction we have with people, just meeting people where they are, and finding ways to love everyone and serve everyone to the best of our ability.
Great. It sounds like a powerful love story, not only just your relationship, but just coming into your own and self-discovery as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think One Spirit, the beauty, I think, of the curriculum of One Spirit is that rather than giving us like lists and checklists of the things to do for effective ministry, it really asks us to go deeply inward, to stabilize our core, to connect deeply with our heart, to know in the deepest sense who we are, so that we can show up with with others and encounter people in their wholeness and feel the sanctity and the wholeness of the person that we're with in any moment, and operate from that place rather than from a place of, I've got this authority, I'm going to guide you now.
Right. And so what are you up to now?
So right around the time we finished seminary, I became Instagram friends with a really amazing young rabbi who had been traveling in India. She had studied Buddhism in college. She was traveling in India just before the pandemic broke out. She returned to Toronto around that time and started working with an organization called Living Jewishly. And she and I just became really good friends. I had just married my husband and was really feeling the beauty and the importance of creating a home that is really connected to the Jewish roots that he brings into our family. And just started really more deeply than ever taking that connection seriously, and really wanting to personally connect deeper with Judaism, and also connect with the people who I most admired in that space. So Rabbi Bluth and I, Rabbi Rachel Rosenbluth and I, started developing this friendship, and we started talking about the things that we weren't seeing in the world of Jewish learning and community spaces, which was a sense of pluralism, not only within the Jewish experience, but Jewish but within like the larger world of interspirituality within Jewish community as well, acknowledging the fact that so many people with Jewish backgrounds have a real deep resonance and interest and connection with other traditions. And we started feeling, there was a lack of opportunities for people to connect and learn together. There was a lot of opportunities for people to learn as an audience, but not as a community. So together with the organization that she was working for at the time, we started crafting something that we have now birthed into the world that's called the School of Living Jewishly. And we've put it together with this amazing team that is multi-generational, an incredible, brilliant team of scholars and rabbis at Living Jewishly. And it's something that we are so passionate about and is still just becoming. We call it Jewish Learning and Community Reimagined. The platform is designed for pluralism, it's designed for connection, it's designed for experimentation, and we've filled it with material and content and lessons that really expand people's understanding of what Jewish life can be in a way that's not dogmatic and not rigid, but incredibly human and flexible and life-affirming. With the School of Living Jewishly, the way that we've structured it is to be really flexible for people. We could say it's maximum invitation, minimum pressure. We've designed everything to work really well for people who have very full lives. The minimum general time commitment is 20 minutes a week, and people who fall behind can always catch up. And we've just designed everything to be really, really flexible to work with people's lives. And anyone is welcome. If you have a strong background with Judaism, if you have religious trauma with Judaism, if you have only recently discovered that you have Jewish ancestry and roots and you have a desire to connect with it, or you don't even have that much of a connection with Judaism at all, but you're curious to understand the community and the rituals and what makes up Jewish life more deeply, we welcome absolutely everyone who has an open heart and an interest in going deeper. So I just always want to emphasize that anyone who is curious about Jewish life from a place of open-heartedness is so incredibly welcome. And we've only just begun, and I'm just so excited to share this labor of love that has been brewing for a couple of years now with our beautiful One Spirit community.